A way of life. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Just wanted to come on here to talk about the nodes of fate changing. On May 5th, the nodes of fate will change from Cancer Capricorn and move into Gemini Sagittarius. Your nodes of fate are just two opposing poles. So you have your South node, which represents your skills and knowledge that you were born here with, your past life. And then it can also be considered your skills and knowledge that you gained from birth up until about age 30, 35. And basically what it's saying is, you kind of move away from the South Node. Not necessarily like, like don't do it anymore, but you just do it less, right? So South Node will be in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is in Capricorn right now, and it rules the 9th house. Sagittarius rules philosophy, spirituality, religion, long distance travel, foreigners, foreign countries, and higher education like universities and stuff like that. So you can already begin to see how that's playing out in the world right now, that we're falling away from that Sagittarius energy. So people may lose interest in the church, or you may witness the weakening of the church. It's weak in Capricorn. Jupiter in Capricorn is not at its best. So it's seen as being in its fall. And Capricorn itself is like going through all of these changes with Pluto. So it's evolving. It's changing in some kind of way, or transforming. When we're talking about Pluto, Pluto is a transformational planet. Anything that it touches, it breaks down to its smallest element to rebuild it back up. So it's transforming in some way. People could become more spiritual, letting go of traditional religion, traditional education. Universities and higher education will transform to like vocations, vocational schools, or like skills training, like apprenticeships, like hands-on skills work, and education. It also could be about, being on some kind of tracking device with that Gemini energy. So Gemini will be in the North Node, and that's kind of what we're moving more towards, right? Gemini rules the 3rd house, and it's ruled by the planet Mercury. And Mercury right now is in Aquarius, or will be in Aquarius when this happens. So it's a radical change. It's revolutionary change. It's we have Gemini and Venus right now, so it's love, beauty, fashion, the material world. Like, we're changing our values around our material world, our beliefs, and the way we use or think about our material world. Like, that is all changing. So there will be more success for anything related to Gemini things at this time. Gemini will be, this transit is a 1.5 year long transit. So for the next 1.5 years, anything Geminian is going to be successful. The last time, this will definitely raise the or bring down the real estate rates. with Venus and Gemini. People will become more flexible and, just more airy. It's an air sign, so we're just like, okay. No. But the real estates, you will see prices in real estate go down. But Gemini rules the third house. So the third house and Mercury rule siblings, neighbors, community, cars, short distance travel, or anything with wheels, not just cars, anything with wheels, short distance travel, transportation, delivery service, paper. I feel like we're going to be completely paperless at this time. Television, something with TV is changing. Like, does anybody even watch their TV anymore? Like, I know people have TVs and you can watch TV through your TV, but we have all these devices. So I feel like streaming is going to become mainstream. Like, they might stop selling TVs. I don't know. I'm thinking, right? We're using devices. I don't own a TV, so it makes sense to me. It rules media, the media, like news, information, all social media, how we connect to information, devices, communicating through devices. If you invest in anything related to technology, you're more than likely going to do well. This could also be about radiation waves and, all that 5G stuff, because there's so much of technology being used. Just make sure you're protecting yourself. It's also really important. I'm trying to stay away from like the negative, but I also feel like I should be educating people. So there are things that you can do to protect yourself from all your social media devices. Make sure you invest in that stuff. And also just be real mindful that spirit is at work here. We are being watched over, right? Like, we are being protected. So yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of bad stuff happening, but at the same time, we got a lot of good coming to us at this time. So people will be like, have some kind of spiritual awakening at this time. Like they're waking up and feeling amazing connections more. There's this idea of like going through the threshold of darkness before you get to the light. That's kind of where we're at right now. So, there are going to be some things that happen that are undesirable, right? People will experience fear, sex, drugs, depression, lies. Does anybody remember when everybody was like, oh, Kanye's going crazy, what's happening to him? And then he found Jesus and he, changed a new leaf, and he's like really trying to do the right thing. Like, he completely changed. He went through the threat. He is like a great example of what we're going through right now, right? Or what people could be experiencing at this time. Just like an awakening to something bigger than you, right? It could be also considered the dark night of the soul, where people are like paranoid and panic. Gemini is also considered, there's like, if you ever look up like stories about the gods, right? Every sign has like a story backline to it, right? A specific god that it's related to. Gemini is considered the last sign of the zodiac, even though it's not the last sign. But like, you'll hear a lot of Gemini say, I'm not coming back. to this lifetime. Like, this is it for me. This is the end of the road. So we're really experiencing some kind of ending, a karmic cycle of, I mean, if you think about it, and I think I'm going to talk more about this in the Pluto retrograde video, but if you think about where we're at right now and what's happening on a positive level, seeing the opportunities within the darkness, you know, we're healing ancestral lines. Like, how many people have suffered from the education system that no longer serves us, where we're now being given the opportunity to teach our own? And haven't we always wanted to do that, right? You know, we're having access to money in ways that we've never had before. We're being given opportunities to start our own small businesses and thrive in some way, form, or fashion. Instead of having to work for somebody and be on somebody else's time. And how long have we wanted that? Like, this idea of slavery is ending in some, like we are literally ending karmic cycles of cycles of cycles of cycles. And if you go back and you do the history, you can begin to see how many things have happened that we've, like, it's almost like a blessing in disguise. And I don't think people are fully aware of it yet, or people who are, you can see them, they're thriving. You're literally seeing people having, you know, raising their vibration, having leveling up, like, oh my God, what do you call it? When you ascend to a higher level of consciousness, like right on TV. I've witnessed it almost several times where people are like, I've been doing this, and that for this many years, and I've learned the lessons from that. Now I'm moving on, doing something that you've probably always wanted to do for a really long time now. And it's coming up for you heavy. We're going to have a massive amount of planets in retrograde. So this idea of going back to the place where you remembered being at your worst, but you had something that you wanted to do. You couldn't do it, but you are able to do it now. Like, you're gaining some kind of enlightenment, awakening, awareness of the possibilities for you to be able to do that now. And the people who are still going through the dark night of the soul, they'll eventually get to that point as well. Everybody's on a different you know, timeline, and different, you know, reasons for why they're here. So I'll talk more about that in the Pluto retrograde, but there will be some kind of experience of nirvana with this energy. Online business is definitely going to be booming at this time. That's something else. Gemini rules delivery. Will prosper. Online scientific inventions and innovations. Of course, you'll have your fake news and fraud and speculative. You can already see that. I mean, the news, I think they do that the best, honestly. Inflicting fear on people with their fake news, and you just don't know what or who to trust. Do your research. Ask a lot of questions. That's Gemini energy. That's mercurial energy. That's Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Virgos will analyze, ask a lot of questions, okay? That's all I got for you. Just, you know, do your own research. Fact check everything. You know, I think we'll be seeing the next level of software for social media coming. Like, you know, when we had MySpace and then Facebook came along, it'll be something like that. It'll be changed in some kind of way. There'll be big money in these areas. Subscriptions of all sorts will grow over this period of time. Like Gemini rules, like it breaks up, it likes small, like little tasks, right? Like the little bee that jumps from flower to flower to get its nectar. Like that's a Gemini. We're very flirty, flighty, um, but don't get it twisted. We are very aware of what we're doing. We are extremely conscious of what is going on. So we'll be into like various of little things, or you'll see like various of little things, like pockets of things. Um, that's kind of, what I'm getting subscriptions from, of all sorts. So having different places to go to get things, right? That's how they're going to make their money now. I feel like virtual reality is like not too far from here with this, especially once Saturn and Pluto enter Aquarius. 2021 is going to be, it's going to be a hell of a year, a hell of an experience. We're like elevating in some kind of way, where we're also like entering a different galaxy. So we're intermingling with other forms of life on Earth and in the universe. That's actually happening with that Taurus new moon. I didn't really talk much about it in the video, but we're definitely entering this space of different life forms within the universe. Because we're elevating, we're evolving as a human race. We could experience like body changes at this time. It's going to be really interesting. But the virtual reality thing, I'm just thinking like, how are we going to do movie theaters now? Like, how are we going to do, like, is there just not going to be any kind of movie experience? I feel like they're going to make it virtual somehow. Like, the goggles where you could just look in and see the movie. You probably have to pay a lot of money for that. Like, I just don't know. I can't see how it's going to happen, but, like, I feel like through the astrology, that's what's coming. There'll be local trade to help grow locally. That's kind of going back to that Gemini energy, right? Communities, neighbors, online. Be careful for buying fake things online, because there'll be a lot of trading and buying and selling online. Marketing. We'll have to market differently though, right? Obviously. So really thinking about or coming up with ideas or having a conversation, right? Because Gemini is about communication and ideas. So we're really going to be conversing, especially with this Venus energy, creatively about how to market for this new world that we're coming into. Short trips, the last time this happened was back in 2001 to 2002, and this is when 9/11 happened. So we won't experience anything like that the same exact way, but the possibility of something of a nature of such, it's just the energy is there for it. So be mindful, be watchful, protect yourself. Yeah. Working with your hands, learning new skills, like like pottery, sign language, learning sign language, maybe learning a foreign language, or learning something like that you need to use tools for, right? Because the original symbol for Gemini is a man and a woman. So there's gonna also be something there with that. But they had the flute and some kind of like stick things, and that's just indicating tools, right? So learning something around how to use tools, teaching, jobs, a teaching job, anything you're teaching would be successful at this time, especially if you're doing it online. But like it's got to be hands-on stuff. Like Geminis are very, so if we're moving away from the Sagittarius universities, so it'll be more hands-on, like apprenticeship, learning, skills training. Ooh, it'll be like, so say if you wanted to be a nurse, so you go specifically to a nursing school, like vocational, right? Vocational and apprenticeships will be really big at this time. Back to the man and the woman symbol. So the original symbol for Gemini is the man and the woman, so we'll be highly sexual. Gemini is a highly sexual sign, so people will be feeling this heavy, like especially, so it's the sign of the twins. If you think about the connection twins have, I don't know if anybody knows any twins, but if you ever hear them speak, they say even when they're apart, they still feel close together. So you have to imagine if we're on lockdown and people are, we're, apart from each other, you know what they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. So we're learning how to stay connected through the air, right? Through your mind, through, your film, like how to connect without any actual physical touch or feel. But so we're highly sexual signs on connecting, really. But like, it's not about sex. It's about sexual union. Like, it's the divine feminine and the divine male. You get, when you really, really, really love somebody, like when you really care about somebody, it's mutual. It's curiosity with Geminis. It's flirty, playful, fun. Yeah. So it's not just about the sex. What is that when a sapiosexual? Like somebody who is genuinely drawn to you because of your education or your mind. Your intelligence, the way you carry yourself, right? Flirty, fun, curious, not so much elegance, because I can't really say Geminis are elegant, but we're very upbeat, playful. So yeah, just the way you carry yourself, right? It's more than just about the sex, though. This is also I speak as I create, quite literally, with Gemini and Venus. The creatrix, so we're creating as we communicate and converse. Yeah. You may use you may use facts at this time to excuse your faults. I'm just saying, we're really good salesmen. I said what I said, okay? This is also about connecting to your close ones, in your environment. So again, relatives, siblings, co-workers, teammates, playmates, neighbors. This is also about small groups, clubs, book clubs, online group activities. Online group activities and making money. Money is going to have a lot to do with this because Gemini is in Venus. So anything that you do in small groups instead of big groups, are going to be successful. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting time. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is playing out for people. And if you want to read it and want to know where this is happening for you and your chart, you can leave a comment below. I hope this information was helpful. Peace.